I guess I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. Welcome to the Brown Spade Podcast Show. Once again, we are back, and today we have a special guest. But before we get started, okay. So today we're talking about holistic medicine. So before I pass the torch, I want to say that a lot of you who are at least in your 40s, you got a grandmother, great grandmother, they used to use their little remedies, and some of that stuff worked. And a lot of us got away with that stuff, and we want to use, westernized medicine. Not saying nothing wrong with it, just saying grandma stuff did work. That's all I'm saying. So today we have a special guest, Miss Ebony Q. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing today?
I am feeling amazing. Thank you for having me here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so where do we begin? How did you get into holistic herbal medicine?
Okay, so I got into holistic herbal medicine and ventured off into women's health, womb medicine, because
Okay.
of my own struggles. I was suffering with something called endometriosis, which is another serious illness that women experience. We hear more about fibroids, but we really don't hear too much about endometriosis unless a woman is trying to get pregnant. That's usually when she's diagnosed with it. But
And,
it occurs in 1 in 10 women, so it's pretty common. But it's just something that's not discussed.
and
And oh,
what
go
is
ahead.
endometriosis? I'm sorry to stop you.
Okay, so endometriosis is a dis-ease of the womb of the uterus. But when we talk about fibroids, we talk about tumors growing within the womb. But
Mhm.
endometriosis is when the tissue that's supposed to grow within the uterus grows outside of the uterus on other
Mm.
organs. And
Yeah,
so it causes lots of inflammation within the body, lots of severe chronic pain, amongst a whole bunch of other symptoms.
gotcha. Okay, so go ahead and continue with your journey.
Yeah. So through this journey, I went to a lot of Western doctors who couldn't treat me. Endometriosis is considered something under the Western branch to be untreatable. So I
Mm.
felt more like of an experiment. Like they were trying this on me, they were trying that, they were giving me birth controls to help cure it. But those are just temporary fixes. So then it was causing me other issues. And at some point, I just gave up on Western medicine. And through my journey of starting out with fitness and then moving into eating healthier, I realized I started to heal other things within my body. Like I realized through changing the way that I ate, my allergies went away and
Mm.
other things that I just wasn't expecting. So I'm like, if I can heal this, then that means that I can heal my womb. So
Right.
that just took me down a whole rabbit hole of learning about holistic women's health, and here I am today. And I realized changed, and I also found my mission, my journey, and my purpose through that healing.
Okay. And so, how long have you been practicing uh, the what you call it again? Womb. What now?
Womb health or womb
Womb
healing.
health. How long have you been practicing that now?
So I've been practicing offering this to others since 2017. Um,
Okay.
Another thing is I was also told that I wasn't going to be able to have children. And
Mm.
as y'all know, like through my healing journey, I have twins. So
Congratulations.
yeah, but I've been offering this service to other women since 2017.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and it's amazing because Ebony, you are vegan,
Hmm.
and I know you spoke on, once you change your diet and everything, you start recognizing, just things that that were happening to you before, they started getting, better with your, I'm pretty sure weight, as far as, weight
Yes.
problems, as far as, and I've heard women, just talk about just who went vegan and all went vegetarian, and they left certain foods, alone. Let me ask you this. So when you became vegan and started, um, change up your diet, how what was one of the things that you noticed in your whole change of your diet?
So what I noticed immediately was my skin.
Okay.
I would notice that I would have like really oily. I had what they consider combination skin. So I was dry here and really oily here.
Okay.
And I realized that my skin started to clear up. I would also get lots of bumps around my moon, around my cycle, my menstrual cycle, and that went away.
Right.
And as I mentioned before, I used to have hay fever like really bad. I used to be on all type of Waldrill, Benadryl. The whole cabinet was full, and I realized that I don't need any of that. I can enjoy being outside, all in the grass, all day long. Just left from being out of the grass, but I couldn't even enjoy outside for the first half of my life. Honestly, I've only been able to really enjoy outside for like the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So are you? I know I've heard of some vegan people, they eat raw vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat raw vegetables, or you eat cooked vegetables, or do you mix it up?
I mix it up. I mix it up based on, I do something what's called intuitive eating. So I just listen to what my body needs. Raw foods are good for clearing and fasting, but honestly, it isn't a sustainable lifestyle, because some things need to be cooked in order for us to get the nutrients from it.
Right.
So while there's like short term, there are health benefits. You can really clear out your colon. You can see rapid changes.
Right.
Over time, we do need those nourishing foods. And even on my journey, I was trying to move towards a raw lifestyle, but upon working with my acupuncturist and working with these other doctors who study the holistic way, they would tell me you need warm foods, especially as women. We need warm foods for the circulation of our womb, for the circulation of our blood, and to move things.
Right.
So yeah, I kind of mix it up. I'll eat raw, but even when I eat raw, I'll add something like ginger or cayenne for that heat.
Gotcha.
So that my body can digest it.
Gotcha. Now I was speaking of womb. One of my friends that I grew up with, his wife is a gynecologist, and she was on one of the shows in Atlanta. And she was talking about how when the woman get up in, want to say, did she say late 30s, or definitely in the 40s, where they don't lubricate as much. So have you read up on that part yet? And if so, what is that from a herbal, holistic point of view on as a woman age, she started to get dry in the vagina area. So how is that?
That's a great question, man.
That is a great question. So over time, it's just like the hormones start to change as you move into these different cycles of your life. Your hormones start to shift and change, and so that's just a matter of balancing the hormones. So there's also we can approach the buildup of mucus that's within the womb, like I just discussed when we're talking about womb circulation.
Right.
Over time, when you're younger, you're more active, so you're not getting that experience of not receiving. What happened to? Okay, not.
No, we're here. I'm just trying to do something because I hear a little cracking. I'm sorry. Keep talking.
Okay, with the circulation of the womb. But also the hormones start to shift and change as you get older. So it's all about bringing the body back into balance and restoration.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm wondering. I've heard that women get to a certain age and it does dry out, but then they get to a certain age and it comes back.
So, and I've heard that too, and that's like also been an experience. But it's also just the hormones changing. Because as women, we move through 4 cycles of our lives. We move through a cycle of when we're younger and when we're in our prime. and then we move into the cycle which we call the mother cycle, which is when we get our moon, our menstrual cycle. But then you start to move into your menopause stage, and you're also like things are shifting again. It's like you're moving into a whole new environment. So many things are changing, your biology, your structure, your brain. And that's when you're gaining your wisdom. And then with that change, there are going to be some shifts. There are going to need to be some adjustments. But there are things that you can do to help the process. It shouldn't be such a abrupt kind of process. There's ways to just kind of smooth that out, so that's not your experience.
So why is it that during menopause, why do in most cases, I've been hearing my whole life that menopause, it makes women kind of crazy. So
that's just menopause.
Why is it? So what is it that makes a woman shift? That word that you use. What is that? Why do they shift to this element of? I guess I'm trying to use the right choice of words. Crankiness. I don't know. Short fuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what we can kind of equate menopause to is, it seems like a long-term PMS. So when we're talking about PMS, we're talking about high levels of estrogen. Estrogen is known to make a woman feel more stressed, what we consider the crazy woman, the short-tempered woman, the hot flashes.
Right.
And so basically, it's just all about bringing the body back into balance. So during menopause, a woman, like I said, is moving into a new prime, but her hormones are off. So if her progesterone is low and her estrogen is high, for the most part, that makes women more like the symptom that you can consider PMS. So women cranky, short fused.
So do you recommend when a woman go through that stage in her life, that menopause, do you recommend that a man go ahead and get him a 1-bedroom apartment?
Honestly, I'm for the having your own room, but that's something. But it can get a little bit intense because women are moving into a new realm. What I suggest women do is to tune into the wisdom of their menopause and tune into the wisdom of their symptoms. Because there's something behind all of that. Maybe that woman does need a little bit more space. Maybe that's the thing, but it's in our culture, it's kind of taboo for us to sleep in a separate room or whatever. It has to be an issue.
Right.
So,
but I noticed though, like, of course we living in a Western society, but I do notice that, you see a lot of people, they've been married for 20 plus years, 30 years, 40 years. And then all of a sudden, they go their separate ways. And I've always wondered that menopause has something to do with that because of that shift that you mentioned earlier in the conversation.
That's possible, but the reason
in some cases, not all cases, but some cases.
like of course some cases. But what happens also with why they consider a woman once she moves into her from menopause, she moves into her wise woman state. And so honestly, it's just some stuff that she might have been putting up with, or some dynamics of the relationship that just wasn't really unhealthy. And as she moved into that state, she just don't have the tolerance for it anymore.
Okay, you don't have. I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's why we go to our grandmas and our elders for their wisdom. And once a woman moves into that space, she's wiser.
I was gonna ask, since we on, I was gonna ask about menstrual cycles. What is the typical amount of time does a woman actually be on her menstrual cycle?
So before I address cycle, there are 4 different phases within cycle. A lot of people don't know that, but it's really important. And this is something women learn. They usually learn when they're trying to get pregnant. But it's important for us all to know that a woman is always within a phase of her cycle. So when we talk about the menstrual cycle, it's really a menstrual phase. There are 4 phases. So there's the follicular phase when she comes out of her cycle. and she has the most energy. She's the most energetic. She can get a lot of things done. But then she moves into ovulation.
And she's horny.
No, that's ovulation.
Okay.
That's ovulation. So then she moves into ovulation.
Okay.
Ovulation is when you like looking at her like, you look different, you looking thick, you know, and her skin is
that is the craziest thing. Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's biological. So then she moves into ovulation. From ovulation, she moves into her luteal phase. That's when we say like her energy is less low, her tolerance is less low, and that's what we consider like moving into her PMS. Then she moves into her menstrual cycle or her menstrual phase.
Gotcha.
So she's always in a phase of her cycle. And also as a man, knowing that, you know how to deal with your woman too. You know how to cater to her needs and also not like take it personal when it seems like her moves are shifting. Like where it seems like women are all over the place, we really predictable. If you pay attention to those cycles, you'll realize that, okay, it's been 2 weeks after her menstrual, she's ovulating. Okay, that's why, you know, we all touchy-feely. And then, okay, now it's been a week, so now her moves are a little low. I see, all right, she's moving back into her moon or her menstrual. But a healthy menstrual, that's a little tip. That's important. So a menstrual cycle, a healthy menstrual cycle lasts between 2 to 5 days, no more than 5 days. 5 days is also a lot. I say after 5 days, it should be completely over. So that's normal. So
what happens what's happening when it goes longer than that?
So when it's going longer than that, so most people know that fibroids usually cause.
Yeah, fibroids when they extend longer than the 5 days is a fibroid problem.
Yeah, fibroids or it's a hormone issue. So it can be fibroids. It can be another one that women don't really talk about or that people don't talk about is polycystic ovary syndrome, which is PCOS. And so that's when a woman she'll go like 3 months without having a cycle or a menstrual. And then
that would scare the hell out of a man.
That would. That would scare me too. I'd be like, not again.
Yeah, that's the thing too. But it's like it happens where, like I said, she'll go months without it, but then she might be on her menstrual for a month.
Right.
So when we talking about that, that's when we start to get into like hormone issues, usually an estrogen dominance issue, where there's just too much estrogen movement like in her body, circulating through her body, or too many toxins or too much mucus within the womb.
Right.
And so, of course, the moon time, the menstrual time is a time to clear that out. And so it's a way of like helping to clean the body, to prepare the body, you know, like it clears out that egg if you don't impregnate it.
Right.
But it's also helping to clear the body because we live in an environment with so many toxins that is our way of healing, of releasing. And usually when a woman has a moon that long or a menstrual that long, she usually has heavy clotting, heavy, like, you know, darkness. It's heavy. She's in pain. She's tired because she's lost too much blood.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not healthy.
Right.
It is. So should women detox often? Like, should women detox often?
Yes, so women should definitely detox often. And also if they are having moons that look like that, and I also call it a moon cycle, a moon phase too, because it relates to the moon, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I'll switch back and forth between menstrual and moon. But yes, women should be detoxing, especially if you're having heavy moon times like that. You should be trying to detox a week, 2 weeks before to help.
But having a period is a part of cleansing as well, correct?
It is. It is a part of cleansing. It's a part of cleansing and it's a part of release. It's also a sacred thing. Like back in the old days, like we were extremely connected to nature. They had something considered red tents where women literally during that time, it was a sacred time. They would literally gather in the red tents away from civilization, away from everybody. And just release everything that no longer served them.
Right. I think they should bring the red tent back.
I agree. And I am trying to bring the red tent back. And there's other sisters I know who are working to like create that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is nothing pertaining to womb. We're still talking about. I'm mentioning something pertaining to herbs.
Okay.
Okay, so I notice a lot of people, you know, they sell the sea moss,
Okay.
and some people want to put their own little flavor in it. And I got the grape, and I got the strawberries, and I got the. And so my question is, doesn't that take something away? Now, if you don't know the answer, that's fine. But I'm just asking. I'm hoping you know that. Does that take something out of the sea moss itself when they start trying to mix, like they some type of, oh, I got this type of flavor, that type of flavor, and I just always wondered, did it take something away?
So if they're using pure fruit, then no, it doesn't take anything away except the shelf life. Because once you start mixing, fruit does not last long. You had strawberries in your fridge; they don't last long. So when you mix with the sea moss, you take away the shelf life of the sea moss. So now, if you're going to mix a fruit within the sea moss, that means you're going to have to finish that jar a lot faster.
Yeah, you're gonna have to finish it quick. Yeah,
you're gonna have to finish it really quick.
Because I've had people, and I did support them, but I always wondered, like, did it take something away?
Yeah. So if it's pure fruit, then no. Like if they mix and flavored, syrups, then of course.
I mean, you still don't taste it anyway, but it was just a question in my head. It was just one of those questions that I never got answered.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't take anything away from it. It would add the nutritional benefit of whatever that fruit is.
Right.
But I do see people dealing sea moss like it's it's drugs.
Yeah, I just seen you 3 months ago selling ham hock sandwiches, and now you selling sea moss.
Right.
What? You just selling rib steaks. Now you selling.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You got I don't know, just one of them questions I always wondered about.
I met a lady recently who made like energy drinks with like Red Bull and sea moss, and I was like,
whoa.
Yeah. It's crazy, and we do the most with that because
we do the most.
Sea moss just itself will get anything that you need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as nutrients and
but you know how we are though, Cleve. We want flavor.
Yeah.
It don't taste right. We want flavor. That's our problem, in our community. We want flavor.
Yeah.
But it's like you can also put sea moss in things and not be able to taste it. You can put sea moss in applesauce, or you can put sea moss in your oatmeal. Like, there's ways to add things if you want flavor,
Right. So do you have, while we have you here, do you have any like websites, or what are you doing for the womb with the with womb? What is it again? Oh my God, womb. Help me out.
Womb wellness, womb healing.
Womb wellness. Mm-hmm. So, you have any like site that they could go to if anybody want to reach out to you? So
I do. My website is womblove.me. So instead of .com, it's womblove.me. So you can find me there, or you could find me on Instagram at _EbonyQ. And that way I can answer any questions, and you can also schedule appointments because I offer appointments for women. I offer consultations for women looking to heal fibroids, endometriosis, or balance their hormones naturally. I do everything from vaginal health all the way down to hormone health because it's all considered under the branch of womb wellness.
And these are things that is good because I'm wondering, I'm gonna take a look into it. I wonder if you can link up with some teenagers, some youth, some kids, because a lot of these young, like I've heard stories of young women not even, they never had to talk with another woman to explain to them about their body. They had to go out and find, later on that, I was not supposed to be doing this, or I was not supposed to be doing that. Just like with the all the stuff adding to that they put in their hair, the stuff that the lotion and stuff they use,
All of it.
like all of that stuff.
Right.
They
Yeah.
just put anything
Yeah.
on in anywhere and not knowing that.
Yeah, they don't understand the proper treatment of the hair or the in the womb area. Another thing to add on with what Cleveland was saying, I remember growing up. This was when I was in my early 20s. I used to see this lady. I joke with my wife about it all the time. This lady, her name was Emma, and she used to always use powder. And how did I know that? Because it was so heavy. It was so heavy, it's almost like she had a pamper on. You just see a big patch of whites. If she sit down and get up, you just see like this little white, powder substance just seeping through the material of her pants. And now that I look back and I say, man, a lot of that stuff, I think they had a lot of cases where that stuff caused a lot of ovarian cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I do offer within the Atlanta area, and if anybody want to fly me out, I do offer menarche ceremonies and celebrations. So menarche is the first moon time, the first menstrual, and I will come and educate your daughter and all of her friends about what this means stepping into this new womanhood. So that is something that I do offer, and I would love to expand my ministry and outreach to the teenagers, because the work that I do. Most of these women are older than me.
I know.
I want to say my demographic is like 40 and up.
Right. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. No.
But they was never taught. They was never taught this.
They were never taught properly.
They was never taught this. Yeah.
And then a lot of them, if you look back just 2 generations, a lot of them didn't even have those conversations on how to properly care,
Yeah. So
I
remember
remember
kids, and they are buying the same products that they use, and those are the same products that cause them issues. But the doctors will never tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to men on how to understand, just as far as sex with your partner, whatever? Because men.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ebony. Go ahead.
So I'm about to just take the conversation somewhere else. You brought me right into it. So
hold on, let me walk away. It's too much for me. I can't stand it. It's too much conversation for me.
So we're going to do like a short exercise, right? So I want y'all to close your eyes. It's very short. Everybody on the call listening, just go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
And then we're going to move right into what the womb is.
All
right. So as we move into this space, we're going to envision ourselves on a staircase. We're going to take a deep breath in, imagining this staircase. And when you're ready, we're going to begin to walk up these stairs.
I'm walking with the vagina or without it?
You just walking. So as you walk up these stairs, you bring yourself to 2 double doors. This beautiful place of worship, 2 double doors.
Right.
When you're ready, go ahead and open up those double doors. And set your intention for what you're going in here for. You're going to church. You're going to your place of worship. Begin to slowly walk through those halls, taking in the sensations around you, feeling the oneness with your Creator, in a state of walking meditation, in a state of walking prayer. And as you walk down this hall, open up the next 2 double doors into the sanctuary. So now you're moving into the sanctuary. And I just want you to imagine how you feel in this sanctuary. You don't have to say it out loud. You can if you want to, but just imagine how you feel in this sanctuary. and you're here in this sanctuary, think about what you'd be doing in a sanctuary. Feel the presence of God in this sanctuary.
Mm.
I want you to feel, stay there, just feel. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes slowly. Just bring your awareness back to the room.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
That's sex.
That's what sex is.
That's what sex is. Those first double doors you went through, that was the vulva.
That was the who?
That was the vulva. That was the outside of the woman.
Okay.
As you went through those hallways, that was that vaginal opening.
That's the vaginal wall.
Yes. Moving into the sanctuary.
Gotcha.
So I felt like I had to frame it that way before we even get into a sex conversation, because half of us, a lot of people, we weren't taught what sex really is, a sacred energy exchange.
Most of us, not half of us.
Most of us. Okay.
Most of us.
Most of us.
Yes.
So as you think about it that way, we all came through a womb. As humans, we all came through a woman.
Facts.
This is the hall to life. Like, everybody came through that canal.
Right.
So as sacred men and sacred women, we have to keep that in mind, that when we go into this space, sacred energy exchange, sex, this is a prayer.
Right.
We're going into this in a space to create intimacy with our partners in order to raise our vibration. And so when you enter a space like that, you can't just enter that space any type of way. You weren't coming to the temple drunk. You weren't coming to the temple dumping your frustrations. You set yourself a certain way before you enter what you consider your holy place.
Right.
So now, if there are any questions following up after that, then
no, I'm just, all I know is, shoot, I mean, I'm ready to go back in that temple again. Let me close my eyes and get back in there. Let me close my eyes and get back up in there.
It's a totally different energy.
It is.
It is.
Kind of like that.
And we're not. We've been taught the wrong way, both male and female, in this society that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of a lot of, that's some of the, that's the beginning of a lot of our problems right there.
Right.
Because we don't enter intimacy in that manner.
No.
You know, I know for a lot of us men, it's like recreation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and for a lot of women, it's more of because she think he's cute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a jock. He plays this type of sport. You know, blah blah blah, so forth and so on.
Right, and we live in a culture where it's like the way that we even talk about it in the music, like beat it up, smash, like all of these things.
It's not, like you said. It's not a place of. It's not a place of worship. It's not a place of divine energy.
No,
it's disrespected on all levels. It's displayed on every level. The way the music is displayed over the airwaves. I agree.
And I can understand men talking about it like that, because we don't have one and we don't understand it, as far as, you know, how important, you know, the is. But women are actually, you know, want you to beat it up and do all this stuff to it. To me, that just blows my mind, because
she's been trained the wrong way though, Clay. That's the thing. And let me just to add on what Cleveland says, the woman is the first teacher.
Yes.
So even if she got a son, when he become of age where they can have this conversation, the way Ebony just displayed that, you know, just demonstrated that with us, if she showed him to appreciate it that way, his approach would be different as a male. And if she had the daughter, she would, when she become of age, she would have this same conversation so she can have self-respect for her divine body. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But we've lost our ways.
Yeah, we have lost our. We're very lost. We're very lost. Yeah.
Because if she knew, like any woman who watches this, that's the way you need to see your temple. That is what your temple is. But many don't know. You know, they.
But hold on now, hold on, Sister Ebony. Now I'm just saying, for some of y'all, sister, before y'all do it now, get the mops out, get the comment. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, true, but that's what you
got. Before it's sacred, now you got to clean it up, though. You got to clean it up. Now.
It's a temple, so once you start to change the mindset of a temple, you'll see it totally different. So you'll treat it totally different.
Right.
So you can't just be walking around saying you got a temple, but your temple dirty.
There you go. That's my point. That's my point.
You have to get your body together. Treat it.
That's my point. Or you, like you say, you don't want to, or you letting drunk people come in your temple. Or you letting high people come in your temple. You know, high on, you know, drugs and stuff, you know, so, yeah.
I hear people all the time talk about, you know, they body, they temple, and I hear conversations all the time, but that's not how they treat it. You know, that's not how they treat it. Yeah.
I'm hearing some feedback.
I hear it too.
I hear it too. I don't know where it's coming from. Let's see here. Let me that. I don't know.
Let me go in and come back. Go out and come back in.
It's getting louder too.
Go out and come back in.
Let me go out and come back in. It is her.
Yeah, it's her.
It's
when
her.
She put it on mute, I heard it.
I thought it was me.
No. When she put it on mute, I heard it. But it's a good thing, you know. And she's not up in age. She's not in her 40s, and she's still in her 30s. But you know,
But that's not. It's not even based on age. And I had this conversation with my sister Cleve. And she like, oh, but you know, she tried to hit on, but yeah, you old, but yeah, you old enough. I'm like, no, wisdom is not necessarily with age. Wisdom come with experience.
Experience, yes,
and
experience thing. Yeah.
Wisdom come with experience and knowledge. Miss Ebony, that was you. Something on your line was cracking.
Okay, so we're good to go now. Sounds good.
Yeah, but yeah, wisdom come with experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have, just because you older than a person don't mean you got more wisdom than that person.
You don't.
And so that's what I was trying to explain to my sister. We just had a little conversation while you was gone, Miss Ebony. I'm sorry.
Ebony, how old are you?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in December. Wow,
you can't be 29. If I'm 32.
Right. So for those of you who don't know, Ebony, this is one of Cleveland's niece.
This actually is like my first child, because
I remember when Ebony was a baby. I remember.
Yeah.
You know, I remember she was a little cute, little dark-skinned child.
Yeah.
You know, while her mama pushing her around in the stroller. I remember. Yeah. But I'm sorry. So go ahead and continue. You're back now.
But even to expand on what you was just saying, it makes me feel really good. Like, I'm honored to have women who are older than me, who can like appreciate the knowledge and wisdom that I've acquired, because it's all in good spirit to help our women.
Right.
You know? So you're right. Just because you're older doesn't mean you know more.
No.
Because
right.
we can all teach each other.
Right. Yeah. Because you have experienced something that they didn't experience.
And that's how I listen to people who, whether they're older or younger. If you experience this, then we can have a conversation, and I'm gonna listen. But if you say I heard or I read, which reading is also, you know, information.
That's knowledge too, though, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what Ebony did. She came across some information, whether because of her situation, it enlightened her. And a lot of females may be going through this that's older than her. Chances are they are. That's why most of her people that she interact with are older. They have not read up on it. They're not educated about it. So now she's bringing that enlightenment, that passion to them, so they can understand what is going on.
But because one of the biggest things that I'm hearing as far as in with our black women is fibroids. Like I hear that, I mean, it's like it's a big issue, and you know they pushing them to you know go have surgery. They putting them on all these different medication, and like you said, Ebony, it's almost like it's a they experimenting on our women.
They
you know,
do.
so what? Being that you've been down that path or whatever, what advice would you give women to start before they actually go down that road of, you know, of getting the surgery done or getting them removed or taking all these different medications? Is there anything they could do naturally, you know, that would help?
Yes. So that's why, that's why my name is Sacred Womb Keeper.
Okay.
Because I consider myself to be on the other side of this war against the black woman's womb.
Okay.
Right.
Because they are quick to take our womb. I think it's like 33% of the surgeries or more are because of fibroids, when fibroids can be healed. You can eliminate fibroids naturally. What I like to say is nobody cut you open to put them in there. Nobody needs to cut you open to get them out. We have elimination systems, our lymphatic system, our kidneys that moves things out of our bodies. It's just about supporting the process, the natural healing process of the body. So just starting there, you know, like knowing that you don't have to get the surgery. That is not the only option.
Right.
But what I would recommend, like just some beginning pointers, because it can get deep depending on what your issues are. I'll just start off with like some basic tips for clearing the womb, keeping the womb, you know, like womb keeping, basically. So limiting the sugar, limiting the processed foods, limiting the alcohol and the caffeines, really
That's
going back to
that's what's getting them.
Yep. And people be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Give me a pill, you know, but that's really what it is.
Right.
And what's so interesting is that we all, like, you know, we shun people who have drug addictions, but many of us have food addictions. The fact that we're willing to let ourselves die, or we're willing to literally kill ourselves for a taste, for a quick pleasure. So I would start off
Sugar is a big drug. Sugar is a huge drug.
Yeah, they said cheese is like more addictive than cocaine. Like cheese do something to the brain.
I wanted to get on cheese. I wanted to, you know, to bring up cheese because people put cheese on everything, and they don't understand the problem. Like I see kids, just kids, teenagers, and I see their face and everything just breaking out, and I'll be like, yeah, that's probably from
that dairy.
Yeah, that's that dairy. The milk.
Clogging up the skin.
We should not still be even a cow gives its calf a certain amount of milk for a certain amount of time, and then it takes it off her because it knows that this milk is gonna get my calf huge, and I don't want it. So the cow takes it. We should not be drinking no other animals' milk.
Well, we've been trained the wrong way.
We have been. And that would be the next thing I would recommend is dairy. Like if you are having any womb issues, especially fibroids, cut the dairy out.
Right.
Because there is a huge correlation between the womb issues and the hormones that are also pumped into the animals that's coming through the milk. And then we are also drinking those hormones.
Right.
Yes.
And we not saying become vegan because people be like, y'all trying to no.
Right. Because I know some people, they would hear that and they would go, there they go, you know, that type of stuff. But no, they just talking about health, and there's nothing wrong with and I think there's not enough conversation talking about health. You know, in our community. And I understand
it's about making informed choices. You know, like if you're gonna do it, at least know what it is. At least know what it's doing to you. Like be informed about the decision.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, one of the big. I have so many friends and so many people I know who have went through the fibroid problems, and the first thing they do is go get them removed, or you know, they taking all these crazy medications for them instead of just changing their diet and changing, you know, what's going on in their body.
Right.
But if you don't address the root, and you don't change the lifestyle that causes the first set of fibroids,
They're coming back.
they're gonna come back.
They're coming back.
Right.
Yeah. And the
So
first,
that's why you have to like.
and the first thing they're gonna say when they come back, they cancerous. That's gonna be the first thing they say. But your body is oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah.
And so what's so interesting about fibroids is like our body is always trying to keep us alive. Even if you're in pain, regardless of what's
You're not
going on, the body is always trying to keep us alive. So the fibroid, the tumors are a way of pulling all of the toxins, all of the mucus out of your bloodstream to try to pocket it so it don't kill you.
Yeah.
Like that is the whole point of the tumors, the fibroid tumors. So the only way to get rid of them in a holistic way is to shrink them down and start to move the toxins out of your body.
And that's cancer. Like what our body is fighting to try to. That's why meat. But that's a different topic. That's a different topic. But beef, that's one of the things that's going on with beef right now. Our body don't know what to do with it. It just don't. It don't know what to do with it. So guess what? So in order for it to not kill you, it's gonna put it right up here, and it's gonna grow and grow and grow, and boom, it's cancerous. And now you're dealing with that. So yes, I'm sorry. I just
no man, you fine. Y'all fine. Y'all fine. Y'all fine because everything it correlates with one another. Everything correlates with one another. You know what I'm saying? So no, you good. You good.
And your body tells you. Your body tells you.
Yeah.
It tells you. Like, for example, like my husband, when I started to go down my journey of like giving up the meats, by that point I had already given up beef, but I hadn't completely given up chicken. I was like, I moved slow. Like I went from giving up beef to giving up chicken. Then I was pescatarian for a little while. Then I moved into being vegan. But, you know, he was kind of following the path with me because I'm the one who cooked the food in the house. And he, you know, he's eating the food. He's feeling good. And then he's from Ghana. So they are huge on their meat.
Yeah.
He went to eat out with some friends and had something what they call suya, which is just like a beef kebab. Was sick. And he was like, wow, I can't believe, like, after introducing that back to my body was like, nah. So after that, he was like, okay, I guess I'm giving up the meat. But it took for him to let it go, to move away from it for a little while and then reintroduce it. Then you'll see your body is like, wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, we don't want it.
Your body doesn't do that when you eat new fruits and vegetables. Your body doesn't reject it.
And listen, like you can't get food poisoning. That's the craziest thing. Like, why would you put something in there that possibly will poison your system?
Mm-hmm.
I know that, you know, going through when people going through chemo or whatever, they put them on a strict diet.
They do.
They put them on basically a vegan diet.
Right.
Mostly vegetarian because they still give them insurers.
Yes. But
they take the meat away.
They take the meat away.
Right.
But, and the first thing I would say is why?
Right. A lot of people don't ask why.
Why are you taking the meat away?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, because they know that the cancer is they know that cancer feeds off of things that your body is not familiar with. Your body has no use for, so it's gonna feed off of the stuff that that you shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when you walk in a grocery store, you see an area, it says healthy food, right? So if this is a healthy food section, what the hell is everything else in here?
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's right.
The healthy section where the fruits, vegetables, and all that. What is everything else? Unhealthy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't listen. We don't think about the things that we see and the things that we do and how it affects our life. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But once you know, you have to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Once I had to do something different.
And if there's something going wrong with your body, and if you're looking for something to change, I mean, it's not going to change by itself. You're going to have to start out with the diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. Like, you're going to have to change what caused this illness in the first place.
That's right.
Even for me, when I became vegan, I did that not because I was trying to do a fad or I thought it was cool. It's because my body did not break down foods, meats and stuff like it was supposed to. So I was having problem with hemorrhoids. I was having bad problems. So the doctor told me, he said, "It's two things we could do." He said, "You can either change your diet or we can remove your hemorrhoids." So I started talking to people about that. And when they was telling me just the pain and the stuff that you went through, I said, I'll change my diet. There's no way I'm going to go. And then here's the thing. Your hemorrhoids will come back. So they could remove them, and it's a possibility they're going to come back, and you're going to have to go through the same thing again.
Right.
No
That's
way
crazy.
Do that,
right.
Man. Like,
that's crazy.
So I changed. I had to. And I have no regrets. I'm gonna tell you now that one of the things, because I was a seafood man, I thought I would never ever miss seafood.
Right.
But after 6 months of going through that, I didn't want it anymore. I was smelling and be like, ugh, what is that smell? Meat. People could be eating barbecue chicken or something just off the grill, and it just smelled raw to me. It just
you can smell it. Yeah, you can smell it in pots. Like I've been to people's houses and try to prepare food. And
it is
that pot.
It smells raw. Like when you walk in their house, you be like, yes.
It's like this little underlying pungent smell.
Right.
Listen, like I said, once again, I'm not trying to turn nobody vegan.
Right.
But you gotta
for the record, I'm not vegan, so it's all love.
But you gotta listen to your body. You have.
Right. But I will say you need to eat more of a plant-based diet. You need to eat more vegetables than you do meat. I will say that.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's our culture that really does. If you go to the grocery store, just go and look at other cultures and look inside of thetheir shopping cart.
Right. But we eat too much meat though, Clay.
I know that's what I'm saying. Just look at their shopping cart.
We eat too much meat. Like if you look at it, like when I got here in the DR, because I never understood when I was in America why you go to those Jamaican restaurants and they used to have the chicken chopped up. You'd be like, why they chopping this chicken up like that? But now I get it because they had to share it. You see what I'm saying? So they would get small pieces of meat. They would eat the small pieces of meat, and then they would eat the vegetable, the cabbage and the beans and the rice or whatever. Mm-hmm. So now I said, okay, because they had so many people in their family, they had to share it. Now bringing that to American standards, we want the whole quarter leg. If you have American barbecue, you got the whole quarter leg. You got a Joker eating almost a whole half a slab of ribs by himself. He'll sit there and eat it by himself. Eating 2 and 3 or 4 hamburgers in one setting. So we overeat. And it's not a black thing; it's an American thing.
American thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's an American.
Just adapted. Honestly,
we adopted European behavior. We adopted European behavior. That's it. Yeah. And so, I mean, to sum it up in a nutshell, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I would still encourage. Like, I don't want to discourage anybody who may be not ready to take that approach.
Right.
But I always suggest a whole foods diet. Like, even if it's going to be a little bit of meat with some vegetables and fruits and a grain over processed food any day.
Right.
I'd rather you eat some eggs if it's going to be organic, pasture raised, than to be eating a box with a whole bunch of ingredients down it. Like there isn't a box that I don't flip over. I don't care if it says vegan, gluten-free, whatever. I flip it over because if there's something in it that I don't understand or I can't read, my body isn't gonna recognize it either.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're gonna tell right away because it's like when we went to China, they vegan is not the same as our vegan.
Really?
No,
like
it's not.
Stock,
that is not. It's not the same. Egg, fish, because it's not the same. I thought it was not the same. And my stomach said, "Hey, brother, this is not
right."
Ooh, I thought I was giving birth.
So your stomach said, "We're not Chinese, my guy."
Right.
And the thing is, Ebony's, my nephew, the twins, they are. How old are they now, Ebony?
5.
5.
In October. Mm-hmm.
They will tell you is that they what's in it? Is that vegan? Does it have dairy? Does it have milk? Is it gluten free? Like they will. They 5.
Right.
They 5 years old.
They on top of their game.
In their body.
Right.
They know what they in their body. Like I'm telling you, they 5 years old, but they are aware already of what health is and
right,
what
which is a good thing. Right.
I have to catch myself sometimes having conversation with them because I'm like, wait a minute, y'all only 5. Like, you're only 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just their IQ, you know, and their everything. I can see the difference. And I'm not saying it's like because of the vegan, but also just the level of sugar. Like I don't give them a lot of sugar and food coloring. Like the chips have blue food color and they have like blue chips now. It's like, what is that? And I can just see the difference, like, you know, being around other children and the way that my children interact and their energy levels. They're different than children who consume chemicals. So it's like the mothers are the first teachers, which is why we have to be conscious about what we're putting in our bodies, what we're feeding our divine mate, because we are the nourishers, we are the nurturers, and also what we're giving to the children.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the problem, because if you're not properly taught how to be a nourisher, that's the problem. So it's like a woman who loves her family to death and she thinks she's doing the right thing, but she killing her family and she killing herself.
She's loving her family to death. You just said it. She's not loving her family to life.
But she don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where we are right now. You have a lot of good mothers with great intentions. I feed my family. I do this and this, but they're not understanding what you're feeding them.
Mm-hmm.
And how this food is affecting the body, how this food is affecting the mind. They have no earthly. They're not even thinking, well, dang, how we sweat? They're not even thinking, how do we get big? Why everybody in the house fat? They're not even thinking like that.
But Daniel, they say high blood pressure, all this stuff I inherit from my grandparents.
They say that. They say that.
You know why? Because you eat the same way that they did.
Right.
If you stop eating like them, then guess what? You will break that cycle.
Right.
That's the only reason why you have the same issues that your grandparents had, because you eat the same way.
Right.
You have to break that cycle.
And I can honestly say, I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 next month. I take no medication whatsoever. I took myself off pork when I was 18 years old, and I do believe that helped me out tremendously. I mean, I don't take any medication. And I remember when I was at the fire department, I had guys in their 40s, they popping pills. Talking about I'm taking I got high cholesterol, I got high blood pressure. And I'm looking at them like, ooh. Whoa. And then I'm paying attention at what he's eating versus what I'm eating. And I say, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinking because he popped the pill, he can eat whatever he want to eat.
But who wants to live like that?
And then the side effects on these pills. You may have high blood pressure, but guess what? You take these pills and one of your left cheeks is gonna droop and your eyeball gonna swell and your nose gonna bleed and your teeth gonna fall out, but you don't have high blood pressure. I'm like, I'll be listening to these commercials like, wait a minute, it sounds like you got a whole lot more problems than what you started with.
Yeah, it just opened up a can of worms. They're not into solving the problem. They're just trying to prolong the problem. That's what the Western medicine is. It's a business. It's corporate.
And our godfather of medicine said it best: "Let food be thy medicine."
Right.
So for every health issue, there's a food. There's a food, an herb. There's something that comes from the ground to help you. So I think it's so funny when I think people are on, I think it's high blood pressure, and they tell them, well, if you on the high blood pressure, don't eat grapefruit because it's going to make your blood pressure too low. And it's like, why can't I just eat the grapefruit to lower my blood pressure? Why do I need to take the medicine and then not be able to eat the grapefruit?
Or how about this, y'all? Or you got and I'm not knocking my Christian brothers and sisters out there. They thinking because if I just pray on it, I'm okay. Like if I just pray over this big plate, now this plate weigh about 5 pounds. If I just say my prayer, I'm good. And that's how we thinking, and then they're not using logic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not looking at what's on that plate, and they're not looking at, I don't need everything on this plate. This is too much for my
It
body.
is. Your meal should be. You should be able to fit your meal in the palm of your hand. You really should. But that's not how we eat, though. We got 2 hands, our lap, our foot in our back pockets. Like,
yeah, man, it's something else. So we have passed the hour mark, and we always do last words or words of wisdom. So Miss Ebony, it was a pleasure. So what are your last words or something you want to share, or something you want to say what's on your mind and your heart?
So I would just like to say that if there are any women who are having an issue with fibroids, endometriosis, any wound issues, take that as a message from your body. Like that is a blessing, honestly, because it's calling you back to yourself in order to make better lifestyle changes and better lifestyle choices for you and everybody who's involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to say also, if you are a man, the same thing. Just know that like this is a time. If your woman is going through this is a time to be supportive and to elevate together as a couple, elevate together, because we both are sacred, the divine man and the woman. And just like the woman has a responsibility to care for her womb, y'all have a responsibility as well.
also, Ebony, give your information to anybody want to get in contact with you as far as
one more time. Yeah.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook at Ebony Q, EBONIQ. You can find me on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram at _ Ebony Q. I'm also on YouTube, so you can follow the YouTube channel, same thing, Ebony Q. And you can find my website for services and to reach out to me at womb-love.me. And so that's where you can find me.
Okay.
All right, what you got, Brother Clay?
Thank you, Ebony. I appreciate this. I enjoyed this. Really, really, really enjoyed this. Love you.
Thank you for having me.
Also, all our people, we appreciate y'all supporting us. Share, like, support, subscribe. And that's all I got. That's all I got, Dan.
Okay, and I just want to say again, thank everybody for all the support. I hope you guys got something out of this. Again, we are all about community. That's what this station is about. We talk about a variety of subjects. We're not one limited, so we do a little bit of everything. So, and if anybody else, if you got something going out here, if you are a subscriber and you want to display your talents or something that you have to share to the world, or to, please feel free to come in and talk to us. Hit Cleveland up or hit myself up. We don't mind supporting you, but you must support us, and then that way we support you. On that note, we're out. Peace.
All right, peace.